Welcome back to Bonanza Disc Golf. As you can see, the sun has pretty much set, the main has come out, because I wanted to talk to you guys today about something that I think gets talked about a little bit, but I want to give you an example of it as you're getting better at disc golf. Right now we're in West Palm Beach, Florida. That's why there's a lot of airplanes everywhere. I just filmed a couple videos, which is why I'm so sweaty right now. But in the most recent videos that I've been filming, I've noticed I've been losing distance. And I think that's for the better. I want to get an idea right now of what my distance is like, so we're gonna do just a new distance comparison with my new form, see kind of where I'm at, because before, if you've seen me throw, like, I've thrown 440 in tournaments. And I know that like those are probably a little extenuating circumstances, my adrenaline's high. I'm normally a little bit better and focused when I'm out on a course instead of just in a field, honestly, which is kind of funny. But I'm gonna do a little network session because I'm trying to do network every day for the next 30 days, filming all of that, making sure that I'm checking out my form, that it is getting better. And then I wanna actually take a look at how far can I throw with this new form. We have some field here. I don't know. I should probably actually do that now while I'm still a little bit warm before we do the network session. So I'm gonna take my rangefinder, I'm gonna throw 3 Rives and 3 Graces, because Graces and Rives have interchangeably been my farthest flying disc. I've just felt more control with the Graces, but I have been able to push Rives slightly further. So I'm gonna just see in a field what I can throw the farthest. There is a pretty significant amount of wind. You know what, honestly, setting up from right here should actually be pretty good. I'm gonna set you guys up at a side view of my form, and I wanna make sure that I'm only counting these if they have good form. But I'm guessing, honestly, even though I have like gone out into a field and averaged 410-ish, I'm guessing I'm gonna be around the 360 mark, the 380 mark. I am gonna be trying a little bit for distance, and we're gonna make sure that a couple key things are together with my form that we'll talk about when we're doing the network session. Hips are up. I actually have my arm up, I extend, and I brace on my follow through. I'm gonna go Grace first here. Nice, 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 nice. Nice little hyzer flip. Don't hit that tree. It hit a tree. I feel like that was going pretty far. I feel like I actually need to get out to open field tomorrow and try this, but I gotta do my network session tonight, so we're just gonna count the ones that I can get to. We're gonna see if any of these will give us readings. I might just have to go to field and redo this video. Everything is hitting stuff. Okay, that one might actually have gotten full flight. We'll try one more time. Okay, that was my best throw because I actually remembered bring my off shoulder in. If that didn't hit anything, that might have been good. All right, we're here at the last one. I'm sure you can see absolutely nothing. To my van, it's 360, and I think we're close to 390. Definitely want to get to a field because, I mean, we were thrown into a headwind. I'm not sure. I might be able to be pushing 400, but let's get this network session in. I'm gonna say this not in the dark, sorry. But we'll do my network session now, and then we'll get my actual final distances tomorrow after I do tomorrow's network session, because I'm trying to do one every day, like I said. Dang it, Anthony, come on, buddy. If you are looking for a net, this is a really solid one, but the one that I recommend I have linked in my description. It's from Visionary. It just has a better retrieving mechanism than this one does, and it's a disc golf company, and frankly, I make more money if you buy that one because I'm an affiliate through them and they pay a better rate than Amazon's affiliate program is. But get whichever net is cheapest, easiest to use, or like Journey Disc Golf, go ahead and use batting cages. But honestly, I had always heard people say like, oh, you have to get worse to get better. And like, obviously I knew that it was gonna take time, but I didn't expect that when I was filming videos and throwing distance driver shots. Granted, I wasn't using my actual distance drivers. I was filming with new companies, but I was like struggling to hit 370. And that's like comfortable fairway distance for me normally. At least it has been this past tournament season. But if you've looked at my form throughout that whole time, it is very ugly and not ideal. And I was basically probably capping at as high as I could possibly get with that form at around 410 to 440 feet. More consistently around 390 to 410. That was much more of my consistent distance. And if you've been watching the form changes and all the other Project 100 videos, oh, this is a Project 100 video, forgot to say that. Whoops, I'm a hack and a fraud. But if you've been watching all my form change that goes through that, I mean, it already looks so much better. And there's a lot that needs to continue to work on. I have some coaching more that I'm gonna be doing, obviously. Also some professional help, if you catch my drift. Basically because I'm trying to reach 475 consistently, because that's what Drew Gibson said is what you need to get in order to be able to compete at the highest levels on the Pro Tour. And I don't wanna just get there for content. I wanna be an athlete. I wanna be a competitor on the tour, obviously. And the main things that I have been focusing on were my hips. My hips were probably the biggest telltale sign that I've been working on my form, because before, my hips would basically turn around as I would throw, and then I'd have to whip around. I wasn't creating space for the disc to pass through my body, out, and out. And it also caused me to be less accurate. I also didn't have tilt because I had to stand up to get the disc to go around, but I also didn't have the tilt here in order to really throw good hyzers. And I've been a much more hyzer player, or starting to be, which helps me to add a lot more shots to my arsenal. I'm gonna link in here as I'm doing this network, my network that I did yesterday, because it was much longer, much more involved, and really focused on a couple major things, mostly the off arm, bringing the off arm in, still not fully there yet. That does create a lot more rotational speed, and that's one of the things that I need to make sure that I'm doing. But the way that I found that's really helpful for this is to make sure that I'm recording myself, throwing 5 to 10 shots, and then focusing on a couple things and making sure that I am getting everything that I want to dialed in so that I could see what I'm not doing, especially right now. I've filmed a couple videos, I've thrown a lot of holes, I'm tired, and I wanna make sure that I'm doing everything correctly, that my hips are staying up, and then they come down, rotate through, bring this through my chest, and then out again, initiating with the off arm. And those are things that I'm able to feel. So let's try real fast. Felt good. I felt like I was punching that off arm in. I have noticed as well that Drew kinds of brings his arm in and then out, which really anchors it. My arm did not really do a lot, my off arm there, so I gotta make sure that I'm focusing on that. Really focused on my hips, focused on creating space, giving me that tilt. That felt pretty good, but it felt like I was throwing it into the ground to try to get that up and create a flat plane of release. That felt very powerful. It's very dark. You want to do this in the light because you'll get less blur too. This might be 4. So up, my hip right here is going to stay up again. My hand is in a good spot here because I'm kind of boxing a little bit. Okay, let's watch when the toe hits. Toe is on the ground. I'm not really fully extended yet. Next frame, I am fully extended and my left arm is starting to come through. Left arm is not really beating the right arm as much as you might like. And then I go out again. That was the one that was a little down. And I also didn't really swing through as much, which is good. That was really good. That looked pretty clean. This might be the 4th one actually. Up. Okay. Toe is gonna touch. And then start the swing after that. Really not doing a lot with my off arm. Nope, that wasn't the good one. Big thing is just keeping that hip up right here, staying in this position on my X step, and even a little bit through my X step so that when I come back down, honestly, I might wanna have a little more tilt in my shoulders, my other shoulder be a little bit more down, but that's looking a little bit better. Yeah, that looked pretty snappy. And then this is the last one, which I said also looked pretty good. Okay, let's look at the hips. Hip is up again. Now it's coming down. Okay, maybe a little bit early, maybe a little bit late with the pull through, and then swinging through. Pretty decent. To be honest though, the one thing that I've been thinking about is, these are all very controlled tee shots. I don't really have any that are very much run up into the throw and see how my form breaks down or not, as well as the main last thing is making sure that I'm bracing on my last foot. And this is an Aaron Gossage quote that I heard when he was talking in a distance video on Discraft's page, but he thinks about pushing his hip backwards so that he braces against it before he rotates on his heel. So we're gonna take a look at doing that and really see if we can make that happen. Because I really haven't been focusing a lot. Okay, I still didn't focus on my brace there. Focus a little bit more on the brace. And one thing that I've heard is helpful for that is stepping with the toe and then really driving the heel into the ground. Oh yeah, that really drives that back. We're gonna try that. And this is all stuff that I've heard through a bunch of things. I haven't talked to a coach or professional about this, and I'm not a coach. These are my opinions. I'm just someone trying to get better at disc golf. So take that for what it's worth. Hopefully it's worth something to you, but I wanna give that disclaimer because I'm not a coach, and I don't wanna be a coach. Still no, and I also hit my shoulder. Not really focused on driving my shoulder down, which I need to be. A little more down, so that I can come out to in. Shoulder, oh yeah, that elbow needs to be up. My elbow's a little down. I need to keep that elbow up and through, and that'll help stop me driving down. I'm noticing that even just on my throw, thinking through that, and then focus on driving that heel into the ground. Okay, that felt like a higher pull through, which is all right. I wanna make sure that that stays level. There's so many things to think about. These are just some of the things that go through my head in a network session, because there's only been like 2 throws so far today, and I'm like, that's a good throw. That 4th throw, that one that we looked at, that was a good throw. That felt like a good throw at least. I'm sure there are things that I could do better, but I wanna hold on to the things I'm doing well now and then build on them, which is why I'm probably gonna have a coaching session here soon. Let's check this out real fast. Try to slow it down slightly, but still be fast. That felt better. That one hit a sign and there's a little nick on it and it's holding onto the net. I know that things can break down as you go faster. I just wanna have the building blocks in my hips, and I have not been focused on my offhand. I'm gonna focus on that a little bit more than bracing, because I think that'll give me faster rotation and might help me brace, but we'll see. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that off arm, you can feel the velocity difference. I don't have a pocket radar or whatever. I haven't bought one of those yet. I might in the future, but I could definitely feel a difference in rotation when I do that. Yeah. This is what working through it does, people. Come on. Look at these last couple, because they were starting to get better. Coming out in a little bit off the screen, but I'm running forward. So we're looking at hip up before the X step. Okay, coming in before. Hip is up. Okay, it stays up. That's big. It doesn't drop down. Stays up. I'm reaching. My foot comes in, touches there. Am I at full extension yet? Probably a little bit early on full extension. Not a lot of off arm, maybe a little bit. It's hard to see with so much blur. If you look at where my body is there, you could see that my left hand is coming in much faster. Pulling up high through the chest is good. Out and falling too much forward. That's a big thing. If I work on bracing a little bit more, I probably won't fall forward as much, and more of that energy will go in the disc. Good position there, it looks like. Through. Still a little too forward. Okay. Gonna get to a field in the morning and really try out this distance. Probably after tomorrow's network session and really work on it, but I mean, things are looking better. I'm not hoping for anything. I just wanna see. I know it can be lower because I'm focusing on form, and my form is not correct, but it'd probably be around 360, 370, because it was during my gateway video, which is coming out tomorrow. So that didn't really mean a lot to you, but all right, to the field. Love you. See you there. All right, so we made it out to an area that kind of has a field-ish. There is a nice big field over there, really big, really nice, but it's locked. Everywhere in Florida is like, you have to pay to get in, which is so dumb. But instead of the 6, I'm just gonna take 5 discs. We're just gonna do distance drivers. I was thinking about doing fairways, mids, and everything else as well, but people really only care about the distance driver distance. And this is really just to see kind of how much I've regressed, if that much, because I know that even over the past 4 days, doing so much form work, I feel like I'm getting better. I also stayed up all night last night, not all night, but I watched maybe 2 or 3 hours of just form work videos. And I do have another coaching session coming up, which I'm super excited for, as well as talking with a pro about form stuff. So that'll be really exciting. I'm gonna throw 3 Rives and 2 Graces. Do have a tailwind that is pushing us a little bit from the right to the left, but I'm also forcing myself to throw down a gap, so I can't like throw max distance shot, I'm throwing golf shot. And especially as I've just been lifting more, as well as just doing form work and just playing for videos, I need to make sure that I am warming up much better. So I've been taking it slow, doing some stretches, and I might develop a warm-up or show you guys a warm-up in a future video if that's something that you'd like. But there are some pretty good videos like that already on YouTube. I think from Latitude 64, I think Disc Golf Strong has something. A lot of people have warm-up videos. So let's just get on to the bomber part, see how far I can throw. I'm gonna force us to hit this gap here, and we're gonna throw from the edge of this court. Gotta keep it clean. We're gonna look at max distance as well as average distance, so I wanna make sure that all of them are good shots as well. All right, wind is definitely pushing us to the left, which I think is losing a little distance because we can't really turn them at all. Next Grace. Oh, that's really short. I threw that one up a little bit. I really focused on my off arm engaging, and I just missed a lot of my shot. I'm gonna focus on being a little smoother because I don't think it will be farther if I run up a lot faster. Nothing is feeling good. Oh, I'm also not creating space up here. And we'll get an idea of how far they all went. This is honestly kind of unfortunate because I feel like these are my least comfortable. Like these felt the worst out of almost any throws that I've done in the past 4 days. Filming, field work, network, this felt the worst. So I think I'm gonna just focus on a slow, deliberate run up and a larger last step, and we'll do 5 more, see where these are at, and see what, not trying to really speed through it because everything just seems weird as I try to add too much speed, which is good to know, but frustrating, obviously. 372, all my Rives were shorter than my Graces. I think it's because I released them all on hyzer. 391, yeah, I definitely want to try this again one more time. 406, 405, I was a foot behind it. 365, 346. So I got one out to 406, which is the flippiest disc, and the next flippiest I got out to 391, and everything else was 376 to 346. Really bad release on this first run. Second attempt here, we're just gonna go smooth. I mean, honestly, all those rides came out like here, where even if they were flat, they might have turned a bit, probably not too much, but they would have just stayed straight or longer. We're gonna go same order again. The problem is there's just so many things that I'm thinking about. It's not second nature yet, which is why I have 3 months or 2.5 months to make it second nature by throwing in this net every day, which is exactly what I'm about to do after I finish up with this video before I go and edit it, so. This is so humbling. I hate this so much. I want to get one good shot. Yeah, I really need to do a little bit of field work as well as network because I think I've practiced a little bit of throwing into the ground. Come on, Anthony. One last one. Still so short. Yeah, that was right around the 370 mark. So, and that was the farthest one because that's the only one I didn't throw into the ground or into a tree. I'm gonna go grab those, but honestly frustrating end, which is to be expected when you're working on stuff. I feel like my averages before were easy, 390, 400. Now it's like 370. Those last ones, I haven't eaten today yet. I just came here like right after I woke up, warmed up. That could definitely be something to do with it, but I think that first spread is a pretty good indication of where I'm at and how much more work I have to do. Just repping on my form into a net and at least doing one fieldwork session or maybe 2 per week to actually see the disc fly, or maybe just trying to stay in a little farther from the net or trying to hit higher up in the net. A lot of things to do, but all of that will be coming to you guys in these Project 100 videos, so go ahead and subscribe for that. If you're gonna check out the last Project 100 video where I talk about getting a net and network, check it out right up here. But if you rather think about your form in disc golf, check it out right down here. That's what I think is a prerequisite for really good backhand form. Obviously I don't have that yet, but I'm working towards there, and if you would see me 3 weeks ago compared to today, my form looks much better. Long way to go. This is a more frustrating ending than I wanted it to be. I wanted this to be a little bit better. I think I'm gonna turn off the camera, throw a couple times, and it's probably gonna go farther, but it's what it is, you know? That sucks. Okay, love you, bye.